No, I actually think it's one of the easiest, because you get him back from a week off, and the goal of this practice is to get him loose, get some shots up, scripting that play. So our guys love to play 5-on-5. We got after it, probably played around 4 or 5 quarters. And we haven't done that, Katie, probably since training camp. And, we were healthy for about 50 minutes. And then Trey Lyles, kind of hobbled off the court, so we'll see what's going on with him. But so we were healthy for 50 minutes coming out of the break, which was great while it lasted. But it was really fun to be in the gym today. Guys had great energy, and we've got 25 games to go. Very tough schedule, as we all know, but looking forward to starting the journey.
Yeah, getting back together with the team, what's the message moving forward for those last 25 games?
Coming out of the break, sometimes the games are hard. Trying to get guys back focused. A lot of guys are still on break. They're still sipping on that Mai Tai they had about 24 hours ago. So to get them refocused, re-energized for a stretch run, understanding the task in front of us, great first 57 games, whatever it was. Now these last 25, just have to have great focus and urgency starting at Dallas. We can't think we can just ease into it. We have the 4th toughest schedule remaining in the NBA. We have 8 games against division opponents, which will be a hell of a challenge. So it's not going to be easy, but let's attack it. Let's be aggressive. I don't want to play prevent defense down the stretch and hold on for dear life, as I said a few times.
You, going into the break, you said that you expect to have a full roster, regardless of what happened with Trey Lyles. Do you expect to have pretty much everybody available in Dallas?
Well, I don't know about Trey's status. Obviously, Michael Porter is still out.
Right, yeah.
But, Gary Harris will be back, available to play. Obviously, Isaiah Thomas came back against Sacramento, played really well the minutes he was given. So, aside from Michael Porter and Trey Lyles, I think everybody else should be a go.
How much will having Gary back, obviously he hasn't been able to get fully healthy and stay that way this season, but if you can get him consistently on defense, how much is that going to be part of what you guys really need to improve on?
Tommy Balchettis in the front office does a lot of the analytics for us, and he sent me a very thorough, comprehensive email over the break about our team, different stats and player stats. And you can't deny the numbers. When Gary Harris is on the court, we're a better team. When Gary Harris is on the court, we're a much better defensive team. I think his defensive real plus minus is a plus 4.4. So having Gary back will be great for us. That's no knock on some of the other younger guys, but Gary and Paul, those guys defend at a high level in the starting group. And, they help Will, Jamal, and Nikola. But I'm going to be smart with Gary as well. He missed 3 weeks, he missed 7 games. So I'm not going to throw him out there for 30 minutes the first game and risk having him hurt once again. We're going to have to really monitor his minutes these next 25 games so we don't overextend him, because I don't want Gary going out again. It's been a very trying year for Gary mentally, probably more so than physically. So even if I have to keep him coming off the bench, I'm going to do whatever I can to help Gary kind of navigate the waters these last 25 and hopefully into the playoffs.
Will talked about last week how it's not going to be a normal all-star break for him. He's going to be in the gym missing 3 months and just trying to get that rhythm, trying to get that burst back. Is more reps and, like you guys played 5-on-5 today, just the best way for him to get that rhythm back?
Yeah, I think so. People forget how much time he missed, to your point, Harrison. And on top of that, how well we played. That's been the great thing about this season is we've had no consistency with lineups and rotations and players, none, because of all the injuries, but we've never used that as an excuse, and we found ways to continue to survive and advance. But Will, you can tell, he's still trying to find himself. Last 5 games, 10 points, I think 5 rebounds, 5 assists, but not shooting the ball well at all from the field and from 3. But I think the more he's out there, the more comfortable he gets. He'll find his rhythm in these last 25, and that's the goal. You want to finish the season playing your best basketball so you can go into the playoffs and kind of be hitting your stride, if you will.
Well, speaking of that, what's the challenge for you in figuring out which lineups and combinations that you like the best, and how quickly do you want to get to that space to be able to have that really rolling into the last few weeks of the season?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Obviously, as I told our guys today, reminded them. You look on the wall over there, and one of the words that we use in our culture is being selfless. And what does selfless mean? Let's not just have it be a word on the wall. we're gonna have to live with these last 25 games. Selfless is putting the group in front of yourself, and we're deep. We're really deep, and if guys aren't playing well, we can go to other guys. There are going to be guys that may not play for a couple games. Being mentally is tough enough to stay ready, knowing that a certain matchup in the regular season and in the playoffs, when matchups are such a big part of it, you may be a better matchup for us in this series as opposed to another player. So it's a heck of a challenge. I think Monte Morris's quote about 2 weeks ago roughly was a perfect quote. If we're all truly about winning, then it won't matter. Now that's easier said than done, especially coming from a rookie. We got a lot of guys that have, played. Isaiah Thomas. How are we going to keep Isaiah Thomas off the floor? I'm not. He's here for a reason. He's been in big games. He knows what it takes. So we'll figure it out. We'll play some small ball and we'll get guys out there. And it's my job to make sure I'm communicating with everybody so they know what their situation is, they know what their role is, and then hopefully we can all embrace that and do whatever it takes to help this team win and win at a high level.
You've got a lot of games against playoff teams. It could be teams you could match up in the first round of the playoffs. Is there any
16 or 19?
Something like that. I mean, it's a lot. So at this point in the season, is there any part of the calculus that you're thinking about that is we want to see different looks to see how they respond to this, or is it just one game at a time we just want to win?
I think if we were a team that was a perennial playoff team, a team that, like when I was in Cleveland for 5 years, you knew you were getting into the second round every year. I think you could be a little bit more willing to tinker, try, experiment. When you're a team that's missed the playoffs for 5 years, right now my mindset is each game, let's find a way to win the game. And within that though, Adam, it might be trying different lineups because now that we're getting fully healthy, we're going to have some lineups out there that we may not have seen before. So I'm not afraid to try anything if I think it's going to help us win the game. That to me is paramount. How do we win this basketball game? I'm not worried about tomorrow. I'm not worried about the game after. Let's worry about the task at hand and win each game one at a time. And along the way, I'm sure we'll experiment just by the nature of the schedule, the nature of the beast.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.